Hello, this is Akiko Sudano in StampinInTheMeadows.com from Downingtown, Pennsylvania, and going to check my stuff here. There we go. And thank you so much for joining me today. I think I'm all set and I'm ready in the right place. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today, I'm going to show you one of the new items from the celebration coming up this afternoon. Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for joining me. And this is in the celebration, which starts on January 5th. One of the items is going to be the Berry Blessings stamp set, along with the Berry Delightful designer series paper. And it's one of the items that you're going to be able to get for free if you place an order of $100, of at least $100. So it's a little bit pricey, but this is a fabulous set. First of all, the stamp set, the Berry Blessing stamp set. It's a two-step stamp set with the outline images and the solid images for both blueberries as well as raspberries. And you've got the berries and little stems and then a set of leaves to go with it. So it's pretty much complete for two different kinds of berries. So you've got the, and then the other thing about the solid stamp set is that this is one of the distinctive stamp sets that Stampin' Up! Has, so that you get different shadings in just one stamp. You get some light shades, as you can see here, some light shades as well as some dark shades. And so that model look makes your image much more complex and just really beautiful. And then also you've got in this one you've got three different greetings, and this font here with this one this is a pretty neat font. I think it's really nice, and it stamps very well. So you've got the stamp set, the Berry Blessing stamp set, and it also comes with the designer series paper. Now this is a full pack of designer series paper, and I've cut it down to 6 by 6, but this is a full pack of 12 by 12 designer series paper, and it's all this beautiful fruit themes. You can see the blueberries here, strawberries and raspberries here, and then the raspberries in different shades, and then more strawberries, and then the blackberries. And then this set also coordinates with a sweet strawberry bundle that comes with the same thought with the blueberries and the raspberries, but with strawberries. And it also comes with a strawberry builder punch, where you can punch out all the different pieces of the strawberries and the leaves. And then this designer series paper, this particular one also works with that punch. So you've got 6 different patterns here, and then on the backs of the patterns you've got some various plaids, and then here's one that's got the various shading of leaves and with the strawberry seeds, and then like with the raspberry little thing. This DSP is really beautiful, and it's also so colorful. So it's got just a ton of color. So this is I think a really nice selection that you can get for celebration, and this is one of the items that you can choose for free when you purchase $100 or $100 with a $100 purchase. So it's a little pricey, but this is the card that I'm making, and I use the blueberry, and I use the leaves with the blueberry, and then I use the designer series paper with the blueberry. And this is my sample card, and I've decided that I'm going to change this up for the for the card that I show you. And then on the inside, you can see that, and I stamped it in Night of Navy, and you can see how beautiful that sentiment is. It just stamps so beautifully. And then this is the same, actually in the same colors and the same stamps. But this one is stamped off, and I'll show you how that works. But so this is my sample card, and like I said, I'm going to change it up. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I took the subtle embossing folder, and I decided instead of just having the plain cardstock, I wanted to have some texture. So I decided to emboss a 5.5 by 4, no, 5.5 by 4.25 panel with the subtle embossing folder, just to get a little bit more texture on the Night of Navy cardstock. And the card base is Night of Navy, and oops, oh, this is I don't want to get that messed up. That's my my inside panel. And I'm going to press this down good with multi-purpose liquid glue. So there I have a little bit of texture with this for my card front. Okay, so the second thing that I'm going to do, in my sample card, I just have like a thin edge of white, and I decided that I needed something just a little bit more. But I needed to have the Designer Series paper. I needed something that's a little bit stiffer, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on the same size panel of Whisper White and adhere that to that. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a border, and I'll show you just as soon as I get these two pieces glued together. And again, this is so that I'm going to pop this on the card front with dimensionals, and so I want it just a little bit stiffer than what you get with the Designer Series paper. Hi, Chi. Thank you so much for joining me. And Amy, thank you too. I didn't see you. I've been focusing. Okay, so I've got my white paper, my Whisper White, on the back of my Designer Series paper there. And then what I did was I used the lacy border from the Ornate Borders dies to cut two little lacy borders. So I'm going to just add those to the top and the bottom of my Designer Series paper panel here, just to make it a little bit fancier. And I will just basically, and I cut this with a 3/4 strip of Whisper White, and I'll put a little strip of liquid glue on that, and then just adhere this, tuck this into the back, and it's going to be popped on with dimensionals. So let me see here. I need to adjust it so that I can get all the pretty dots showing there. And then I'll give it a good press. And then do the same thing with the, yeah, I got it on that side. Do the same thing with the bottom. Hello, Debbie. Thank you so much for joining me. This is using the pretty Berry Blessing Celebration item from from Celebration, which is going to start on January 5th, and that's just around the corner. Another week and a half or so. It'll be good. So I just wanted a, I felt like it was a little bit easier for me to control by cutting this pretty border on just some thin strips of Designer Series paper, and as opposed to, and then I could just glue it to the end of the paper, and then I could get it lined up exactly the way I wanted it to be lined up. And I want it lined up just so that I can barely see this bottom line of little dots at the bottom of the lace here. push it a little bit more. There we go. I think that's good. All right, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my dimensionals on, and I'll adhere this panel to the front of the card base. And again, my card base is Night of Navy, and this, by using dimensionals, then I'll have a little bit of a little bit more dimension. It makes it a little bit more interesting. And the card is going to be pretty flat anyway, so this is going to be, I think, fairly easy to mail. Hi, Debbie. Yes, the paper, this paper is just beautiful. This is, I think, I feel like they're always coming out with the most beautiful paper, and then I see the next catalog and I say, oh my gosh, that's really, really pretty. But this one is really, really pretty. I think there's a number of pretty papers in the upcoming new catalog, as well as the celebration brochure. I think the last card I did was also had. And then I think the other thing that I'm going to do that's different from my sample card is I'm going to maybe bring it up just a little bit more from the top. So this is cut to 4 1/4 wide. So it's I think that's good. So it's going to be even with the outside edge of the card. There. So you see, it makes it the lacy edge to me it's more like a picnic picnic blanket, a fancy picnic blanket. Okay, so my card base is done. So now it's time to go ahead and start stamping. And what I did was I cut a panel of thick whisper white, because I'm going to pop that one up also with dimensionals. And so I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. And so I'm going to start with the leaves. And the leaves, I have the outline. I'm going to stamp in the darker shade. And for the leaves, I'm using Shaded Spruce and Granny Apple Green. And for the berries, I'm using Night of Navy and Pacific Point. And in both cases, I'm going to be stamping. The blue is just beautiful. It's just so rich. That Pacific Point is so rich with the Night of Navy. And so I'm going to stamp it with the outline. I'm going to go with the darker shade, and here I'm using the Shaded Spruce, and I'm going to just stamp it kind of in the center of this panel. And again, I'll have all the sizes on my blog post for tomorrow. I'll put this one aside, and I'm done with this. And I'll get the Granny Apple Green, and I will line up the solid image on top of the Shaded Spruce. And the nice thing about, you can see it's not 100% perfect. It's kind of like looking through dirty glasses. I don't know if how many of you have had that experience, but I have that a lot. But you can kind of see how to line up your stamp, and then just let it go, and you get enough of a contrast that that you can see, and then you get a pretty image here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this away. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the berries. And I find doing the outlines first, especially since I'm using the darker ink for the outlines, makes it easier to see. So I've got the Night of Navy, and I'm doing the berries. Hi, Christine. Thank you for joining me. And I'm going to line up the bottom of the berries with these little stem pieces here. And then this little guy is just kind of floating there, and he doesn't really have a stem to line up with. But I'm on a slight angle, so I think we'll be okay. The thing, too, is that I think that this is kind of like a, it's kind of a modern sort of look. So I think that if they're floating, if you don't get them lined up perfectly, I think you're still going to be okay. And then use Pacific Point to do the inside of the berries. And again, just you want to line it up so that you get most of the berry on the inside of the darker outline. And you can see how you can see through that, even though you're good. So this one, you can see a little bit of the white here, so that's a little bit twisted, but that's okay. I think it came out. It is very forgiving, and it looks pretty good. And then if you're totally unhappy with it, you can flip it over and stamp the other side. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to die cut this, and I'm using the octagonal frame from the Hippo and Friends dies. And so I'm going to go take this over to my die cutting machine, and I'll be right back, okay? There we go. So there's our die cut, and that's garbage. And so we're all done with this, and then I will just take this and pop this on with dimensionals. More dimensionals. Here we go. And just one in the middle here. And these images, I was thinking that wouldn't this be cute with just a set of like note cards with just the different fruits cut out on it? That would be, I think that would be so so simple and just really elegant. So I'm just going to put this on the center, kind of here, a little bit further closer to the top than the bottom, and let that go like that. And then I have a bow. Where's my bow? What did I do with my bow? Oh my goodness. Okay, let me go get my ribbon. I'll be right back, and I'll cut another bow. Because this is just so perfect. This ribbon is just perfect. This is the ribbon from the Playing with Patterns, and it comes with a Night of Navy, and this is a really nice thin 1/8 of an inch ribbon, and then it comes also with Coastal Cabana and Poppy Parade ribbon. So I'm gonna tie just a big loopy bow. That's the nice thing about this 1/8 inch ribbon, is you can make these nice loopy bows, and just very casual, and just very casual. There we go. And we'll trim the end, trim this end so that it's in the right direction, and then just stick the bow on the bottom here with the glue dot. Here's my glue dots. And put this on the end, fold it in half, kind of. There we go. And then just kind of press it down. There we go. And finish it with and I just stayed simple, and I'm using the clear rhinestone gems, just the basic, just to kind of fill in this little area up here and give it a little bit of sparkle. And right here, oops, there you go. There. Okay, so that's my card front. All right, so on the inside of the card, and what we did was just basically stamped the berries and the branches again. So here's my inside panel. Put this ribbon away, and let's see, let's ink up, and this time for the inside, instead of stamping the outline image, I just used the solid image, and I used that stamped off, and we'll do one down here so that it's a little bit lighter, and then one up here. Here we go. And the Pacific point for the berries, the solid image. Do the same thing, stamp it off, and line up the berries with the stems. So you've got the similar theme in terms of having the berries and the leaves, but quite a different take than the main focal image, because you don't have the outline images. And then the final thing is we'll take this wonderful sentiment and put that in the middle in Night of Navy ink. Move these away so I have plenty of room. And this says, "You always have a way of making my day." It's such a sweet sentiment, I think. Don't know if I'm getting. Yeah, that's okay. Line this up so that it can be, it'll go straight. That came out pretty good. I was worried because I felt myself lifting up a little bit, and it looks a little bit right down here. It looks a little bit thicker than maybe it should be, but it's okay. And then I'll just get my Stampin' seal and put this on the inside of my card, and we'll be done. But again, this is from the Celebration catalog, and it's going to be starting on January 5th. It'll be available. It'll be so exciting, and I hope that you you like it. Okay, so here's our card, and put this on the inside. I think that that Pretty Designer Series paper would make a nice border too on the bottom. But I decided I do that all the time, so let's do something a little bit different here on the inside and skip the border. Okay, so that's the inside of my card, and that's the outside of my card. And so that's it. I hope that you enjoy that and consider it for celebration. Thank you so much. Have a great Sunday, and we'll see you next weekend. Bye-bye.